This is Caribbean College of the Bible International, CCBI, the Distance Learning Correspondence Bible College, which allows you to study at home without leaving your job or spending countless hours on the road traveling. The college, which offers certificate courses, associates, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees. CCBI presents Refreshing Springs every second and fourth Wednesday at 2 p.m. on 98.1 FM. Call 675-4709.
Good afternoon, listeners. Welcome to Refreshing Springs. We are still, yes, definitely in the midst of the Lenten season, of which Passover is an integral celebration. In Mark 14:14, the Master, Jesus, says, "Where is the guest chamber at which I shall eat the Passover?" Jerusalem, at the time of the Passover celebration, was one great inn. Yes, a great inn. Josephus tells of the innumerable multitudes that came for the Passover to Jerusalem, out of the country and even from beyond its limits. Yes, he estimates that in 1 year, in the days of sisters, about 256,500 lambs were slaughtered, at least 10 men for each lamb. So you would realize the multitude. At this great festival, which celebrated God's favor on the Jews, even the Roman officers released prisoners in recognition of the celebration. Travel and other ordinary pursuits were no doubt suspended. At Passover time, each householder had invited his own friends, yes, to Passover meal. But nobody had invited Jesus or his disciples. Hence the question, yes, where is the guest room where I shall eat a Passover meal with my disciples? This has been the age-old question that started way back in Genesis 3 and 9. Adam, where are you? Where are you so that I may come and have fellowship with you? It was by his own supernatural power that Jesus found himself an upper room in which to keep the feast of the Passover with his disciples. Whose guest room Jesus used, we do not know. What was the man's name? We do not know. And what his occupation was, we still do not know. But he readily accepted the honor which the Redeemer proposed to confer on him. He's an example of the whosoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. History records Mary and Joseph could not get a place at an inn for the birth of Jesus. Someone, no name, no status, no number, just an innkeeper made room for his birth. In Revelation 3:20, Jesus says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man," again, here is the whosoever, here's my voice, and opens the door, I will enter and I will sup with him and he with me. This is indeed a royal invitation. My friend, Christ is graciously pleased by his word and spirit to come to the door of the heart of the sinners. Yes, he draws near to them in a way of mercy, ready to pay them a special visit. But many times when he draws near, he finds the door shut against him because the heart of man is by nature shut up against Christ by ignorance, unbelief, and sinful prejudices. However, when Christ finds the heart shut, he does not immediately withdraw. Praise the Lord. But he waits to be gracious, and according to Songs of Solomon, even till his head is filled, yes, with dew. Governor Pontius Pilate of the crucifixion narrative in Matthew 27, although convinced that Jesus was a just man, refused to open the guest room of his heart to him. Instead, he opened the seditious Barabbas. Governor Felix in Acts 24 had the opportunity to converse with the Apostle Paul on matters of faith in Jesus Christ, righteousness, self-control, and the judgment to come. When Paul convinced him of the way of Christianity and occasioned him an opportunity at Passover, Felix trembled and put off the decision for a more convenient season. "Go away," he says. "Go away for the present. And when I find time, I will call you." When I have a convenient season, I will call you. He never got one. Festus in Acts 25 called the invitation to Passover madness. Acts 26 records King Agrippa, when given an invitation to Passover, put off his invitation. He said to St. Paul, almost you persuade me to become a Christian. In other words, even though I cannot deny anything you say, I will not be persuaded. Agrippa never got another opportunity to pass over. The other thief on the cross in Luke 23, when given an opportunity at Passover, railed to Passover. Himself, he questioned. He questioned the messiahship of Jesus Christ. He saved others. Himself, he cannot save. My friend, the Savior uses all appropriate means to awaken and get the attention of sinners and to cause them to open to Him. He calls by His word and knocks by the nudgings of His Spirit and their consciences. In Isaiah 55, He calls, incline your ear and come to me. Yes, come to me. Hear, and your soul shall live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, the sure mercies of David. Matthew 11, He calls again, come to me, all you who labor and are heavily laden, and I will give you rest. John 7, if anyone athirsts, let him come to me and drink. He who believes in me, as the scriptures said, out of his heart will flow, yes, rivers of living water. Revelation 22, and the Spirit and the bride say, come, and let him who has come, and let him who is thirsty come, and whosoever, well, let him make, yes, let him make room, yes, let him take the water of life freely. Here is the question again. Where is the guest chamber at which I shall eat the Passover? I stand at the door and knock. If any man hears my voice and opens the door, I will enter, and I will sup with him, and he with me. I'm standing and knocking at the door of the intellect with all rational pieces of evidence why they need to open and let me in. I am omniscient. All knowledge abide in me. I am the God who made the earth as a sphere and the incalculable number of stars, with each one different, yes, different from the other. I am the God who made creation out of invisible elements and as earth floating in space, with winds blowing in cyclones. I made the seas with the deep valleys and mountains on the ocean floor. Come, let's reason together. Let's have Passover. I'm standing and knocking the door of the religious legalists. The law was given to govern my people of covenant, Israel and Canaan. It regulated their common everyday conduct and was a covenant of works. It included the 10 Commandments, the ordinances stipulating their social life, and those that are directing worship. But it was a temporary divine administration effect only until I come. It came to an end at my death and was superseded by a new covenant called the law, yes, the law of grace, which is the covenant I would make with the house of Israel after that time, declares the Lord. I put my laws in their minds and write them on their hearts. I will be their God and they will be my people. No longer will a man teach his neighbor or a man his brother, saying, know the Lord, because they will know me from the least of them, yes, to the greatest. For I will forgive their wickedness and I will remember their sins, yes, no more. I have been knocking on the door of the traditional religionists for a long time. These people are steeped in tradition, honoring and holding on to the religion of their fathers and country, and are determined to live and die by it. But what matters to me is a relationship, not religion. Religion leads away from me. Relationship leads to me and my Father's house. I am standing at the door, yes, the door of the businessman. I am knocking. I am knocking. Will he open his room, or he is too pressed with business, with the cares of life, the plans of accumulating wealth, and with the general busyness of office or his profession, and it's not now a convenient time for him to give me space for Passover. I am knocking the door of the just plain sin lovers. Those people either love sin in general or love some specific sins they do not want to abandon. I am knocking to liberate them, yes, from the powers of sin to the powers of the Lord, from dominion of Satan to the dominion of God, which would bring them into a new personal relationship with Him, to rescue them, yes, from the penalty of sin. I am at the door of the high society, those who use their high status in life to think that Christianity is a step down. But I am King of Kings and Lord of Lords, eternal, immortal, the only and ever wise God, the most excellent one, sovereign and almighty, omniscient, omnipresent and omnipotent, the creator and sustainer of the universe. How could the creature be greater than the creator? It appears that no time of life is a suitable one, yes, to make room for the Passover meal with Christ. The youth desires to spend time in pleasure and want to wait for middle age. At middle age, they are too busy and leave it for old age. But as age advances, they find an increasing desire to defer it. They are still indisposed, yes, to attend to it. Still in love with the world, even at old age. Indeed, those who open to Him shall enjoy His presence, yes. In the presence of the Lord, there is fullness of joy. He will sup with them. What great company. It is what He finds, yes, would allow Him to enter. If what He finds would make but a poor feast, what He brings will make up the deficiency. He would give fresh supplies of graces and comforts, and thereby stir up fresh faith and love and delight. And in all this, Christ and His repenting people will enjoy pleasant communion with each other. Oh, my friend, what do careless, stubborn sinners lose by refusing to open the door of their hearts to Christ to save them? Their Passover. Zacchaeus opened his guest room to Christ in Luke 19. Zacchaeus was the chief tax collector in Jericho, who had grown rich by overtaxing the Jews for the hated Roman government. When Jesus visited Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus was a very short man, climbed a tree to see Jesus. Jesus asked him to come down and then went to visit Zacchaeus' home, yes, as a guest. As a result of Jesus' visit, Zacchaeus became a follower of the Lord, repented of his sins, and made restitution, yes, for his wrongdoings. He gave half of his goods to the poor, yes, and restored fourfold those whom he had cheated, yes, through overtaxing, over-collecting of taxes, yes. So remember Saul of Tarsus? Yes, Saul was bent on destroying the early church because he saw in it a threat to his religion. Here comes religion again. With unbounded vigor, he set out to total annihilation, yes, to total annihilation, assisted and authorized by the high priest. But while traveling near Damascus, Saul opened, yes, his chamber to Christ in a great dramatic turn. He was filled with a longing to obey the Lord and to do His will. Next to Jesus, the Apostle Paul became, of all the ages, the one man who, more than any other, established Christianity in the main centers of the then known world. Wrote more than 3/4 of the New Testament and altered the course of history because he opened his guest room, yes, the guest room of his heart, to pass over with Jesus. John Newton had been the worst man among his peers. He had sunk to the level of an infidel. He had not only become the hardest swearer, but a rival blaspheming atheist who denied and despised the very existence of God. John Newton was capable of wrecking the faith of any man he met. As a slave trader, he became a leader, a leader, one of the worst leaders. He became a lecher whose body raped the black girls in his power as they lay naked and chained in the hold of the ship. But John Newton opened the guest chamber, yes, the guest room of his heart to Christ. The Bible became like a new book. He realized that God, yes, that God whom he thought of as distant, to be served in fear, without joy or intimacy, could be a friend walking at his side. The name of Jesus became sweet, yes, to his ear. The knowledge of his love produced a return of love to him. John Newton made an unreserved yes surrender to Jesus. From slave trader to hymn writer, he is the author of the song Amazing Grace. Yes, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me, and indeed he was a wretch. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed, the hour I opened my guest room, yes, to pass over. Tis grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace would lead me on. He continued, my Lord, yes, my Lord, my life, my way, my end. Here's the question again to you, friend. Where is the guest room at which I may have the Passover? Are you willing, my friend, to permit Christ into the guest room of your heart? This is not complicated, you know. Christ will be your guest. His power will work with you to make you willing. Yes, to make you willing. Zacchaeus, Saul of Tarsus, John Newton, and a host of countless others stand as testimony. What an honor to entertain the Son of God. The heaven of heavens cannot contain him, and yet he condescends to find room within your heart. Blessed among the sons of Adam is the one who entertains the Lord, yes, for Passover. Here is the question one final time before I close. Where is the guest room at which I may have the Passover meal? Friend, will you open the guest room of your heart and let Jesus Christ in this lengthened season? When you do that, he would come in and sup with you and change your life completely. For further information, you can call us at Caribbean College or the Bible International. The distance learning Bible College allows you, yes, to study at home without leaving your job or your family or without you're spending countless hours on the road traveling. The Bible College offers certificate courses, associate degrees, bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees, situated at number 59 Eastern Main Road in Barataria, Trinidad. Give us a call, 868-675-4709, or you can visit us on the web, ccbi.org. The Lord bless you as you continue the lengthened season.